Welcome back to my channel here at Trace2G. My name is Sammy. Today we're going to chart BITF, ONDS, Open, BULL, Bitcoin, and SPY. Before I go ahead and chart, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord. This is going to be a speed run on all these tickers because there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to get straight into it. So let's start with BITF first. We are printing a shooting star at the impulse. This is inside a ascending scallop. Folks, ascending scallop. Take a picture of that. All right, so typically when we have a shooting star and an ascending scallop pattern, this is inclinating that we're due for reversal. Well, how do we know where the reversal is? Where's the confluence? Well, turn on your EMAs and your SMAs and look at this EMA, the 5 EMA, right? My orange line is that 5 EMA. Look at what price action is doing. It's bouncing off that 5 EMA. Plus, we have a inverted hammer shooting star. That tells me that the next time or the next bounce potential is at the 236 or the 382, folks. The 236 or the 382, $4.03 or 386 cents. So this area is where I'm looking at for a potential buy, at least for this ticker. It has been in a massive run, rightfully so. It's a data center play. I'm absolutely going to get in on this, but I'm going to wait for the pullback and wait for price to come to me. All right, next ticker, ONDS. This ticker, absolutely another one getting hammered because of the day. Obviously, we got issues with China, but no worries. So this one's going to be quick. If you notice the RSI trend line here on the daily time frame on ONDS, folks, well, it's failing. At least we're double bottom right now, but we're breaking below the RSI line. So with that being said, if I had to take a good guess where the next price action will most likely land, is going to be this center line right here, folks. This center line, which adds, well, if we break below the 20 EMA on the daily right here, folks, because the last time we had touched the 20 EMA was roughly right here back in August 20th, 2025. Excuse me, August 19, 2025. So we broke the 5 and the 10 daily. The next line of defense is that 20 EMA. So 20 EMA would roughly align with this pivot area zone right here. Let me load right there, folks. Right there. This area right here. But if we break this zone on the RSI, the next one is the center line, which I would assume would be right here at the volume average low at 717. So keep an eye on these layers, folks. So we have observation here on ONDS. We're breaking below this trend line, layer 1. Layer 2 is exactly at that 20 EMA. 20 EMA. We break layer 2. Then next layer would be the center line, which would roughly be around 757, around this range, or when this SMA gets smacked by price action. Open. This is getting clobbered. It is always coming down when it hits this line right here, this bearish trend line, excuse me. So this bearish trend line, if you notice, every time we hit it, we always get rejected. This is on the daily time frame, folks. This one was in a huge sell-off point here. But if you notice where the bounce is always the $618, $7.46. So we had a bounce here. We had a nice little aggressive sell-off here, but then we found, again, life at the 0.618, excuse me. Then again at the 0.618, and this is today. So, again, if we come back into this trend line, which we did, we're inside of it, maybe a potential bounce again at the $8.99, $9, come back rejection, at least where the SPY is or what the sentiment is as a whole. I believe a little bit more bearish momentum can continue to happen here, but I'm just giving an observation. Rejection, support. You break that, well, folks, let's not talk about it because you're kissing the center line, the RSI, and that's not good. And your MACD up here is literally vertical. Negative DI also pointing up. So, folks, keep an eye on open. It's right now bouncing off the 618, which is good to see. But if you put more pressure at the 618, I would worry that we will go below. Well below $7. Next one, BULL. Very, very short, very sweet. Guys, if you notice what obviously today did not help the momentum to the upside, okay? But this is another one, downward channel, and hopefully we get that opportunity to the upside. I spoke on this last week or a couple days ago. It is respecting this trend line, but man, this is a heavy sell-off on Webull. Very heavy sell. We got the micro 786 at exact 1154. We are breaking below it, very, very small, but the next bounce, if we continue to sell off, will be this bottom macro trend line in lining with this trend line as well. So we have two trend lines here. Let me show it to you. We got this angle trend line here. That's the macro. And then we also have this solid bold white line, which is roughly around 1130. I suspect 1130 right here would be the next support bounce if we continue to sell off. All right, Bitcoin, guys. I have a Gartley harmonic bearish completion exactly at the it was at 121. The HOP zone was at 126. Don't worry about what any of this means. All you need to know is that there's there's 3 profit targets that we look for off of Gartley harmonics. That's the 382, the golden pocket, and then the third one will be the 886. But very rare we get to the 886. But the golden pocket is the next bounce, potentially. Why I say that? Well, we slipped below the 382, and if you notice the RSI, this is why the RSI is your best friend. Understand the RSI is very powerful. Look at the RSI. All right, what do you see here? I posted this on my Twitter. This box here has been a historic pivotal bounce, or at least here we had an accumulation, then we had a bounce, and now it looks like the RSI broke the center line, and I see a potential bounce again. Well, at least entering back into this box and hopefully a reversal. This box also aligns with the golden pocket if the RSI continues to come down. So the RSI is more in line with the box here. So very interesting to see on Bitcoin. We are breaking below the 0.5 ratio. Next one I would love to see is the 618 and the 0.65, the golden pocket. All right, last but not least, SPY. Okay, folks, I'm gonna have to bring this to your attention, folks. This part is important. All right, SPY, guys. I'm a little bit worried here. I have a shark harmonic completion, like a really clean one, exactly at the golden pocket at $639.63. I'm talking clean. I haven't seen a clean shark harmonic in a very long time. And let me just show you what the candles, at least what the candle structure looks like. Let me just lower the opacity, I think, or the transparency. Yeah, the opacity, excuse me. So we have a huge bearish engulfing candle right now on SPY. That is a sign of, obviously, fear. That's fear printing, okay? And that's a very significant sell-off. I mean, everything bearish is sliming off right now. Like, we have the delta, the negative, oh my goodness. We're at negative 9 million, or meaning the bearish sentiment is 9 million, close to 10 million over the bulls, which is at 4.4 million. So we're a couple million behind the bears right now. Bulls, we're a couple million behind the bears, folks. That is not good, okay? And that's a huge sell-off. And the climb up took time. But look at this sell-off here with its paper hands. Fast sell-off. People already anticipated, like, hey, we're already due for a correction, and people just instantly sold off this news. Like, they just let it go. They did not waste no time. So let's focus on where price potentially can reverse off. Again, observe your price action with the RSI. What do you see here always when price hits what? When you break certain layers, if you notice here, all right, this RSI here, we bounce right at the center line, right? But we're breaking below the center line. So we have a lot of price action fighting in this range, but your absolute bottom or your absolute reversal was here in this box, deep into the bear zone, okay? So we're breaking below key areas, but this also aligns with the golden pocket. If we continue to sell off here on SPY, this also aligns with price action coming down to this box, and that in line with the golden pocket, okay? And if you notice, you enter the bear zone, you can obviously test it, come back down deep into the bear zone, and then reverse from it. I suspect price, if we continue to sell off, it would do the same. Enter here, come back and retest it, and then you create divergences, something along that line, and then thus you get the whiplash to making new higher highs, higher lows. But this thing absolutely is very concerning. That's a huge bearish engulfing candle on the daily. This is literally people saying we're done. All right, we've exhausted everything. This is not bad if you're looking for the long term. This is eventually potential buy the dip opportunity if we continue to if people find reasoning to buy at the dip. This is opportunity for some folks. I'm gonna wait it off. I'm gonna wait it off. Hopefully SPY comes back here. If we start breaking below this 50 EMA and SMA, and that in lines with the 382.652, then boys, I mean the 0.5 I'm not even worried about. I would be looking at the 618.65. So this is very interesting, SPY, what's happening. If it continues, man, well, a lot of pain to look forward to. Thank God I exit all my positions earlier this morning. I'm very earlier this morning actually. But stay tuned, folks, because I'm gonna keep updates with a lot more new tickers. I'll be more active next week. I've been handling some personal stuff here in my. I've been traveling, so just handling some paperwork. But definitely next week I'll be more active. And yeah, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord.